Good evening. My name is Rochelle Crump. I am president and founder of the National Women Veterans United. And tonight we're going to be talking about veterans issues, but a lot about women veterans, in particular the National Women Veterans United benefits that we actually observe, as well as other things for veterans, and which will help you along the way. If you're a veteran or the family of a veteran or you know a veteran, you'll be able to have some information to pass on to them. So again, my name is Rochelle Crump, proud Army veteran. Want to give a shout out to Letty, who's back there. She's going to be operating a phone, and I'm going to tell you when you can call in. In fact, you can call in at any time at 312-738-1060. You'll see that at the bottom of the screen, and I'll be announcing it as we go along. So the first thing I'd like to do is a dear friend of mine who was also a member of the Montford Point Marine Association and who supported the National Women Veterans United has passed. He was an Army veteran. His name was David Brown. I've been knowing David for 49, 50 years. He was a good family man and a veteran that was dedicated to assisting veterans and veteran organizations. So I'm going to have a quick moment of silence for him and any other intentions or any others that you would like to call in and say something about, just to recognize their service and the things that they gave back while they were still serving after their service. So a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you very much. And so my heart goes out to the family, and we continue to lift them up. So one of the hot issues now came out as an immediate release, and this has a lot to do with the Department of Defense. And so another agency that's involved is the National Veterans Legal Support. And what they found out and what they had done since now take that back, it was from 1991 to 2016. So more than 130,000 combat injured veterans had their lump sum severance pay improperly taxed by the government due to a computer glitch when they left the military from 1991 to 2016. So on July the 9th, 2018, the Department of Defense began mailing letters out to notify those affected by this glitch. And those letters went out as early as July the 9th, and on July the 11th, the Internal Revenue Services issued guidance in order to assist veterans. And so the National Veterans Legal Service Program discovered that error, as I said, and they considered filing litigation to help veterans, but felt it was best at that time to assist all of the veterans affected. They asked Congress to pass legislation. Some of the leadership that was involved in that was Senator John Boozman from Arizona and Senator Mark Warner from Virginia and Congressman David Reuser in North Carolina. It was called the Combat Injured Veterans Tax Fairness Act of 2016. And our former president, Barack Obama, he signed it into law in December of 2016. So over 3 decades, the improper withholding of millions of dollars in severance payments owed to our combat injured veterans as they left the military, they have cited as being a historic wrong. So if in fact this is your first time hearing that, you can actually probably go to the Department of Defense website or the National Veterans Legal Service Program. And the acronym for that was NVLSP. So again, this is something hot off the press. If you know a veteran who retired out of the military and one who retired because of their disability, then this is for them. And it's very important that we pass this on so that they can act swiftly and make a claim for the compensation in which they are owed. And I think that's the first step in righting a wrong, if you will. So again, that's a hot issue. Very happy to see that has passed. I know when I was working for the Department of Veterans Affairs during that time for the Federal Department of Veterans Affairs, I remember when it came out, but it was just like when there was the Agent Orange claim starting up. Simply what they did while it went into litigation was simply stack those files up and had, nothing else to do until they received some accurate and concise guidelines on how to proceed. And so as a result of that, as you know, veterans who had those disabilities in which they did research on and found that they were related and the cause of some of the illnesses, then in fact they started compensating very late, about 3, 4, 5 decades later, they started compensating them. I won't say most of them, but many of those Vietnam veterans had already deceased, and so their families were entitled to file for that compensation, and some still don't know. They're still getting claims at this time. So there's a lot going on, and one of the things that's going on is the National Women Veterans United. We are so proud of our organization. We are proud of those women who served, and I think we've got a caller. So we're very proud of those women who served in the armed forces. Caller, are you there?
Yes, my name is Sharon, and I'm a proud Marine Corps veteran. Hoorah!
Hoorah!
And I would like to say that I'm a member of NWVU, and we do everything within our ability to assist our fellow women comrades. And in the future, we are going to be moving to a larger facility so that we can continue to help our women veterans.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for bringing that up. And again, I'm a member of the Montford Point Marine, and you're my president, and I'm so glad that you took time to call in. But I also want to just say, we lost a member of Montford Point, and I did a moment of silence for David Brown, and I thank you for your leadership in that organization as well. You don't find too many Marine Corps women veterans that are in leadership positions, particularly in the nonprofit arena. So my hats are off to you. I salute you, my sister, and I want to thank you for calling in.
Thank you, ma'am, and you are my president, and keep up the good work.
Thank
we
you.
know what we do counts. It's not about one of us, it's about all of us.
That's right. That's what we do.
That's right. Hoorah.
Hoorah. All right, we have a caller. Caller, are you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
And how are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine. Are you a veteran? Are you calling in to give a shout out to someone? Or you want to talk about some issues that we're going to be touching on, or already talking about the National Women Veterans United?
Well, actually, I am a member of the National Women's Veterans United and a board member. And I was calling in because, first of all, I would just like to applaud those of you who have this call so that people can get informed as to what is going on. I wish there was a way that more and more veterans, especially female veterans, could find out about this call so that they can dial in and hear all about what is going on. A lot of our female veterans feel all alone. They feel as if they're not veterans. They don't really understand that their service is appreciated and really actually what they really did in regards to serving this country.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm glad that it's an opportunity for us, too, to be able, like you said, to get the information out. And, just to give a salute out mostly to, I'm going to say, the women veterans, because male-dominated systems oftentimes overshadow some of the good things that women veterans do, or the things that they've done in the past, some significant contributions and accomplishments in military history, American history, and, in the civilian world as well. So I really appreciate you taking the time to call. And, I salute you for your service, and I salute you for your membership. So thank you so much.
One other thing I wanted to talk about was the mission of NWVU.
Yes.
Our mission has stood since the conception of NWVU, and it still stands strongly. And it's really so important because we still have female veterans who are disabled and not getting the benefits that they deserve and not even aware of that.
Yes.
We still have female veterans who are homeless, which is horrendous. We still have female veterans who are at risk, those who are going back into deployments, and a lot of them have children that depend on them, and they're being separated from their children to serve our country.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I just really commend NWVU for all that we do, as well as those females and young people who have lost their mothers or grandmothers or guardians who serve this country.
Absolutely.
So I want to hear a little bit about what NWVU does for our young children who probably feels like their mother lost their lives serving this country, or their grandmother lost her life, or an aunt, and no one really understands or cares.
Absolutely. And that is so important. You're absolutely right. A lot of times we forget those families who have lost their loved ones. In particular, we don't have that many women veterans who had children. So the ones that did, this is very devastating for them. And I'm so glad that National Women Veterans United has reached out to the Gold Star families, and in particular, Simone Robinson's family. Her daughter is now 11 years old. Simone was killed in Afghanistan in 2009, and we've been, mentoring her and trying to stand behind that family to let them know that her death was not in vain. So, and I thank you also for your leadership in doing that and ensuring that our older veterans also, are being recognized, and that we don't forget they exist as well, because, their days or years are somewhat numbered, if you will, and they need the support. They really need the support of those who, could care for them, and to also to honor their service. So you're absolutely right on all the points that you said, and I thank you so much for bringing those things up. And then about the homelessness, I'm going to go to information about our great stand down that is coming up. I'm going to go through that in just a few minutes, and I want to thank you again for calling in.
Okay, and that's what I was going to end with, is the stand down, because normally the stand down is in October, I believe.
No, it's in September. I'm going to give the information very shortly.
16th.
So you can
Okay,
stand by
thank you.
for that information.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're the National Women Veterans United. I know we have a caller. Caller, are you there? Just hold down for 1 minute. Stand down for a minute. We're the National Women Veterans United. We're located at 790709 South Racine in Chicago. You can reach us by phone at 872-731-2150. And you can go to our website and you can get all the information about us. We are at www.nwvu.org. So we want to just let you know where we are. And then caller, are you there?
Yes, I am, Rochelle.
Yes.
Good evening. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing fine. And yourself?
I want to give a shout out to all the women all over the world, in the Army, out of the Army, in the service, out of the service. You are doing a service to our community in the city of Chicago, and God bless you. But I got a question for you.
Yes.
You got this, Donald Trump over here, our current president, and he keeps steady saying that he's helping out the veterans more and more and more. Is there any truth behind that?
You know what? I could barely hear that question. Say that question to me again.
I'm talking about Donald Trump. He keeps saying that he's steady taking care of the veterans a little bit more since he's been in office. Do you see any kind of help coming from him, from the government, towards the veterans?
Okay, this is how I'm going to answer that. The answer to that is that Donald Trump, number 45, is the commander-in-chief.
Right.
So everyone has their own opinions about what he is doing and how he is doing it. We don't have, and we don't take a personal, our organization in general does not have a stance on what he does and what he doesn't do.
My question is only, is anything improving? Have you seen anything been improving since he's been in the office?
I can say that at this particular time, I have not seen
Okay,
anything
that answers
that has
one question.
benefited myself, even as a veteran,
Right.
or anything that has actually
Changed.
benefited veteran organizations. You know,
Nothing
I know
has
that in
changed.
the national part of veteran organizations, as you know, they're male dominated, and we know
Absolutely.
that there is a joint body, which is your American Legion, DAV, VFW, all
Right.
those organizations, with the exception, I believe, of only 3 or 4 women across
Mm-hmm.
the nation in all of that system that are in a leadership position. So
Right.
of course they're always outnumbered in any of, the legislation that may have to get passed. They just have to go along or to get along is what I want
Right.
to say.
Now,
Because
does your organization just take care of the old veterans or some new women that come in?
we take
that are
care
right-
of all veterans, any woman
Right.
veteran who comes to our organization,
There you go.
because we have all branches of service.
Yeah.
We are enlisted and officers. We
Uh-huh.
are
What do you do?
combat and peacetime, and we are of all different backgrounds. So,
So you-
that's the uniqueness about our organization. Any woman,
Absolutely.
veteran, or service member that comes to our organization can fit in somewhere. And
So-
that's because, again, we are a very diverse organization.
You're like the rock. You're the rock of veterans issues. You're the rock of it all. That's what you are. You stand for it all. And that's a beautiful thing you're doing, lady. I hope things get better. I hope everybody gets better, gets well. And I hope the wars can stop some way, somehow, so we don't have all this problem. We got to take care of our women and men in the United States that come back in service to give us our freedom every day. Some of them aren't treated very well. Some of them do the best that they can. But God bless us all. Rachel, it was a pleasure talking to you, and you be safe going home tonight.
Thank you, and I
Thank
salute
you for
and I
your
thank
time,
you,
sweetheart.
and I
More
thank
than
you for
welcome.
calling in and giving out that information and a shout
Sure
out,
will.
and
I
also
sure will.
recognizing the fact that we're not going to write ourselves out of history. So
That's
the
right.
next information I give is going to be something that we are able to, and this is based on a stand down, as we know that stand down originated
There you
to
go.
assist at-risk and homeless women veterans. And what we did is we thought we had to think and act smart. And one of the ways that we have to act smart is to make sure that everyone knows about this information. And also we
Right.
want to dispel
I like that
stigmas
title.
about those who are homeless or at risk. No one really needs to know that except the people who want to help them. So what we
Right.
did is we made this stand down for all women veterans and those who are still serving as well, because the information that we provide for the stand down, which is themed at Together We Rise and Are Strong, and we
That goes
are.
for
Together we
everything.
rise and we are strong. And so that is going to be on Saturday, September the 15th at the Jesse Brown VA. It's a stand down conference. We're going to have individuals there who are going to be able to give some very sound information. We're going to talk about finances. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about community resources and support. We're going to talk about the National Women Veterans United and our new initiatives that are coming up, and what we're also feeding to do from the federal, state, and county VA benefits information, community resources. Veterans, please bring your veteran ID. And also we'll have raffles and much, much more. And we will be serving every branch of the service. So we encourage you to pass that information. Caller, are you there?
Oh, hi, Rochelle. This is your old friend, Joe Basil.
Yeah, Joe, how are you?
Oh, good, good. I just wanted to, one, congratulate you on your retirement.
Thank you. And you also.
I wish you the very best, and I just want to, congratulate you and thank you for all you've done over the years with, you're the only person I know that worked with the federal VA, the city VA, and the state VA.
Yeah, thank you.
You've just done so much, and I congratulate you, and with the show and everything, you've just been, a great friend of mine over the years, and you've done so much for veterans. So
Absolutely, and we still, Joe, I'm so glad you called, because you know what? We still have one battle, and that fire is still burning, and I know that was really a passion of yours, and that was to make sure that that veterans home get built in Chicago. So we have to keep the light on that. We know that there is some, I hear rumors here and there about it, but I think that with the new regime that is kind of, out there right now trying to take positions of leadership, I think that's something that we're going to have to feed to them. And you know how we do it and we do it well, and we're going to make sure that that home gets built, because it is long overdue. I almost say it's definitely a decade. So I'm not sure if we're at 2 decades yet, but we certainly want to make sure that it stays in the highlights of everything that they do. So
that's a lifelong commitment for mine. So
Absolutely.
I'm going to make sure I'm going to continue to battle and fight for it, and I hope anybody that's listening today, we continue on to battle for it.
Absolutely. So, and thank you for calling. I salute your service, your military service and your service in the community. I know you retired. You did some wonderful, great, outstanding things at the VA. And it was just amazing. And they filled that void also. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rochelle.
Okay. And so we're going to talk about NWVU news, too. You have a caller. Carla, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, you have a question or a comment?
I have a comment. This is Angela T.
Angela B?
No, Angela T.
Yeah, hey Angie, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. You called right in time. I'm just showing your picture on. I just pulled up your picture showing our newsletter.
Oh, okay.
So that is funny. So our caller is there on the left in that picture. If you see that picture, she actually had an opportunity to meet star and actress Phylicia Rashad at one of the Gary Sinise Foundation Steppenwolf Veterans Night Performance Theater. So you see how proud she is in that picture. We were happy to capture that and get on our front page of our newsletter. So thank you. You did an outstanding job representing the National Women Veterans and Women Veterans at that theater. Every quarter, I believe, they have it. We're actually a partner of the Steppenwolf, and they have some other things going on as well, and that's about telling the stories, and that's going to be coming up. We'll get an opportunity to actually bring that to CAN TV also. So there's some really exciting things coming up. Is anything else you want to give a shout out about?
I just want to shout out that NWVU is an awesome organization for women veterans, and we're just trying to get the word out, and hopefully we can get the women veterans to come out.
Absolutely. And I want to point out, too, that Angela is also a co-founder of the National Women Veterans United from back in 2005 when we first got started and started this task of trying to bring women veterans together. So she has a history as well. She's a retired veteran from Desert Storm. Salute you for your service. Thank you for all the things that you've been doing in the community, trying to make sure that women are not left out of the community resources as well. So fine job. She's also in the recruiting piece where she's always getting information and bringing information to us. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, and keep up the good work.
All right, and see you soon.
Okay.
All right. So we're at our NWVU newsletter, and like I said, she had an opportunity to meet with get a photo with Phylicia Rashad. Great picture. Also, you'll see on here the Trinka Davis Foundation. They came from Birmingham, Alabama. They actually built a veterans village in Georgia, in Carrollton, Georgia. They were the nicest ladies I could ever imagine to be. And I want to say that they were very generous to the National Women Veterans United too. So we are so happy that they picked our organization. They're providing a 3-year commitment of support for us. Can't thank them enough for what they've done. And so also I want to show here, we have a caller, and then I'm going to go here. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Yeah, hi, how are you today?
I'm just fine, thank you. And I'm just calling in, so I don't know if I missed the discussion about a new location, but is that still in the works for NWVU?
Absolutely. We are diligently right now looking, searching for a new location. We have to make it just right because we've outgrown the space where we are. And, that's a good thing that we've outgrown it, because our membership is growing as well. We're getting on to more programs where people are coming in to also to take an interest in our organization. So we want to make sure that we find a lucrative place that is going to have plenty of space. So if we have some people out here who know of some vacant spots where we can move to. We want it to be in a very diverse area. We want to make sure that we have enough space like we do now, but a smaller version for our meditation room, for our kiddie center, our computer lab. With all of the women, we need at least 2 to 3 restrooms. We want to make sure, okay, we're out of time. So we had a very successful night. We want to make sure that everyone knows about our stand down. And again, that stand down is September the 15th. And you can go to our website. Our website is www.nwvu.org, and we are at 790709 South Racine. Phone number 872-732-2150. My name is Rochelle Crump. I want to thank you for calling in. I want to thank our tech, Letty, and good night. We'll see you next month.